In this video, we're going to talk about pronoun antecedent agreement. So by the end of this video, my goal is for you to identify pronouns that agree with the antecedent for gender, identify pronouns that agree with the antecedent for person, and identify pronouns that agree with the antecedent for number. So let's take a look at some examples. We're going to start at the bottom, work our way up. For this tab, we're talking about pronouns that agree with the antecedent for gender. So if we take a look at our first example, it says Cassie painted a picture. Notice we have Cassie as a noun. And then the second sentence says she painted a picture. Notice how she is a pronoun. Notice how these two agree. The pronoun and the antecedent agree. Notice how Cassie is a girl, so we need a girl pronoun. We can't use he because that would not agree. Same way with this one, Brad loved the artwork. He loved the artwork. Notice how Brad is a boy name, so we need a boy pronoun. So if your pronoun agrees with the antecedent for gender, that is good, and that's what we're looking for. This should be easy. This should be reviewed, so we're not going to focus on this skill too long, but I would like to move on to the next skill. This skill is we need to make sure that the pronoun agrees with the person. Now, in your interactive notebook, you should have a page that looks like a chart that looks like that. Okay, for persons, this is the area we're looking at. So notice how we have first person pronouns, which are right here. We have second person pronouns, which are right here. And we have third person pronouns, which are right here. So let's go back. So you'll probably want this page open in your interactive notebook when you work on worksheets until you get really comfortable with this. But let's go back to our example sentences. And we have a first person sentence. It says, I need my glasses so I can see. Notice how we have first person pronouns here. We have I, we have my, and we have I. Notice how these pronouns are all in first person, so this sentence is correct. If I said I need my glasses so he can see, notice how it would change from first person to third person. We can't do that. That would be incorrect. Second person example, when will you get your license? Notice how we have a second person pronoun here, which is you, and another second person pronoun here, which is your. Okay, and again, if you're having trouble remembering what person these pronouns are in, make sure you're looking at this right here in your interactive notebook, because notice how this is how I figured out this is second person. All right, notice how this sentence all stays in second person, and that's what our goal is, so this sentence is correct. Third person, the kids took off their shoes in the house. Notice how we have there. That's a third person pronoun. If we look at our chart, it's right here. This sentence is in first or third person. It agrees with each other. All the pronouns and antecedents do. Okay, the last part is our toughest part. This is number agreement. So pronouns and antecedents must agree in numbers. This is a tougher skill. This is a skill that even adults sometimes mess up because it doesn't come natural to us. And for that reason, that's why it's important to really pay attention to our interactive notebook until you get these down. So take a look at this right here. This chart has singular antecedents. So whenever a sentence uses one of these antecedents, we need to use his or her for a pronoun. So if I said someone, notice how someone is right here, is a singular antecedent. Someone left their scissors on the desk. That's incorrect. A lot of adults talk that way. It should be someone left his or her scissors on the desk, because notice how someone is singular, so it needs to have a his or her for a pronoun. Let's take a look at plural antecedents. All these words are plural antecedents, so if you see a word like this in a sentence, or if your sentence has a word with an S on it, like students, because S makes things plural, then you use there as a pronoun. Let's take a look at our example sentences. Both of my parents gave their money so I could go to a movie. Notice how we have there here because both is a plural pronoun. So when I'm doing these, when I'm looking through these sentences, it's important until you really get comfortable with this, it's important to have this page open, because what I do is I take a look and I see, is one of these words in this sentence? And then I know right away which pronoun to choose. So let's do that with this sentence. Anyone can share his or her opinion on a blog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my interactive notebook and I'm looking for a word that is on one of these charts that's in that sentence. When I look at it, I notice that anyone is a first word in that sentence. So since anyone is a first word in that sentence, I need to use his or her because it's a singular pronoun. All right, so now with that being said, let's practice this just a little bit just to make sure that we've got this down. So Dad said blank would let the puppy lay on the couch. This is one of these gender pronoun antecedent agreements. So we need to figure out what word can I use to replace Dad with, and of course it's he. The puppy wanted to play, so blank grabbed the ball. Now puppy, we don't know the gender of the puppy. We don't know if it's a girl puppy or boy puppy. If you don't know the gender of an animal, it's okay to refer to it as it. All right, so we're gonna practice that. We're gonna practice the person pronoun antecedent agreement. Notice how this no sentence here says, when a student comes to class, all of your homework should be done. Notice how this sentence starts off in third person. So if you refer to someone by their name, like student, or if I refer to myself by my name, Mr. Hall went to Walmart, Mr. Hall went and washed his truck, and then Mr. Hall went to eat, those whole three sentences are in third person because you're using names. So this sentence starts off in third person, and then it switches to second person. That's not okay, so this is not a good sentence. Notice how we fix this sentence down here. Take a look at this sentence here. We are going to enroll Wrigley in a new program. Notice how we have we as a pronoun. If we look at our interactive notebook, we'll notice that we is in first person. So when I get down to here, I need to choose a pronoun in first person, which would be I. Wrigley will compete against poodles, Labrador Spaniels, and boxers in the show ring. Notice how we're using name here, so this is in third person, so I need to find a word in here that's a third person word. So we're going to put they are all popular breeds. So that's pretty easy. Let's go on to the next one. This is the toughest one. This is a good time to have your interactive notebook page out when you're looking at agreement and numbers. A few crickets have made their home in our classroom. Notice how few is plural. So since few is plural, we need a plural pronoun, which is there. Others have invested blank time wisely on this project. Notice how others is plural, so we need a plural pronoun there. Students will meet blank deadlines for the next assignment. Notice how students has an S at the end, it's plural, so we need a plural pronoun. Each teacher turned in blank grades to the office. Notice how each is singular. It's on our chart in our interactive notebook. So since this is singular, we need a plural or a singular pronoun, and that's why we use his or her. Someone's going to get blank in big trouble. Someone is singular, so we need a singular pronoun. So again, when you're completing the worksheet on this page, definitely make sure that you have your page with this information in it on your interactive notebook with you, and that will definitely help you.